Thanks for staying with us. My name is Daryl. I want to begin with issues concerning LPG because it affects almost everyone. We need it. We use it every day. And while some consumers are expressing concern about the hikes in the prices of liquefied petroleum gas, especially in the second pricing window, gone up by 8%. Now, we've heard from the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers, which is worried that it could also affect the efforts to increase the rate of penetration of LPG in households. The projection was 50% for 2030. Joining me is Vice President of the LPG Marketers Association, Gabriel Kumi, to understand what's currently happening as far as that industry is concerned. Good afternoon to you. So why are we seeing the hikes we are seeing now, sir? All right, we are going to fix the audio with...
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now, sir.
Thank you very much, Daryl. I was saying, basically, the factors influencing this rise in price are still the same. They still remain the price of crude oil on the international market, and of course, the stability or otherwise of our city. If you look at the previous window, crude oil was being sold under $80 per barrel. But as we speak now, crude oil is hitting $90 per barrel. And that is an increase of about 13–14% in the price of crude oil over the previous window. And once crude oil goes up, you expect the price of finished product on the international market to also go up. And that has happened. Unfortunately, our CD for the past 2 months saw some appreciation, but it was relatively stable over the previous window. And even figures we are picking from today indicates that the CD has started getting a little bit weaker against the dollar. So these are the main factors. Once your CD is not showing enough strength to outweigh whatever increase that may come in terms of the crude oil price, you are likely to see an increase in the price of the product.
Well, as I was getting ready for the show, I mean, one of the questions I was asking is what can we do differently? Because we've talked about this several times, and the factors are constant, right? The cost of crude oil on the international market, the cost of how good or how bad our city fares. And I know that in times past, you've called for interventions from the side of government, and especially with regards to taxes, but we are not seeing anything.
We haven't seen anything, and this is a call we will continue to call. We will continue to call on government. We will not stop calling on government to remove taxes on LPG because it doesn't really make sense that the product you want to see its consumption go up, you put taxes on it. Why are Cote d'Ivoire and other West Africa countries even subsidizing the product? But we have put taxes on it. We believe that taxes are the first step government must take to ensure that the price of LPG comes down. One will say how much the price is if the taxes are removed and crude oil still goes up, we will still have the same effect. I'll say no. Any peswa that you put on the price of LPG goes a long way to decrease its consumption. And once the taxes are addition to the cost price of LPG, you can see that the taxes are having negative effects on consumption. So no matter how high crude oil price go, once the taxes of the product are taken off, we are likely to make some gains in terms of consumption. So at this juncture, we'll continue to call on government that, look, crude oil price has started rising again. We are hitting $90 as of today. The experts are telling us that going forward, the prices are going to escalate further. So this is the time for us to take up taxes on LPG. And unfortunately, the figures that we are seeing in terms of consumption are not too good at all. Last year, we dropped by 12% in terms of consumption. 2022, LPG consumption in Ghana dropped by 12% against that of 2021. And the figures we are picking from the first quarter of this year are even worse. So if government really wants to still hold on to this objective of increasing access and penetration to 50% by the year 2030, then government needs to take the bold steps. It needs to do the needful to ensure that the price of the product comes down. The drop in consumption can singularly be attributed to the rise in price of the product. There's no other reason why consumption of LPG is going down other than the price of the product. It's the price which is pushing a lot of people from consumption. So we need to tackle the price. Once the price comes down, commonsensically, you are likely to get a lot more people into the consumption because LPG is a product with an elastic demand. It's highly price sensitive. So the only way you can engender growth, the only way you can grow consumption is to take measures to bring prices down as possible so you can attract a lot more people into your consumption. So government objective could be achieved. When government set this objective, LPG penetration was around 25%, was around 25%. It's been 3 years on. Now consumption is going down. So even the 25% that we used to be in 2019, 2020, we don't think we think we are now going back to about 20% penetration level. So government objective can never be achieved if it doesn't really tackle LPG pricing.
Yeah, it reminds me of the recent campaign to promote the use of LPG, and I'm just thinking that is going to be unproductive looking at where we are right now. But
it's a waste. It's a total and absolute waste of money. Anybody that spends money trying to promote, advertising the use of LPG, how can you advertise a product that I can't afford to do? I can't afford the product, so why you are that the advertising means nothing to me?
Yeah.
We hear NPA and the World Bank doing a lot of advertising on radio and on TV, but we are saying that we are throwing a lot more money away by that because the consumers you are advertising the product to cannot afford. As affordability is the bottom line. We all sit on our televisions, listen to radios, a lot of products being advertised. If you can't buy that product, if you can't afford that product, if you can't have the means to afford that product, what is the use of that advertisement to you? We should rather channel that money towards subsidizing the product to the rural folks so they can afford the product.
Okay.
We sit in Accra and place adverts on TV and on radio, wasting money. We are wasting the taxpayers' money by those advertising if we don't tackle the price of the product.
Yeah, I just want clarity on one thing in terms of feedback you're getting from the government on maybe the possibility of taking away some of the taxes. Is it an it's not possible situation, or we'll meet you halfway? What are you hearing?
Well, I must say that MPA, from the information we are picking, MPA, especially the current chief executive of MPA, has done a lot. And we understand he has even presented a paper to cabinet through the ministries to ensure that we take up these taxes from the product. But for us and to the ordinary consumers, your effort is nothing unless and until it yields the desired result that the consumer, that the ordinary Ghanaian is expecting. So no matter the effort you are putting in, if that effort does not lead to the price of the product coming down, does not lead to these taxes being removed from the product, the ordinary Ghanaian will not see the effort we are making. But even though I must admit that, yes, we have picked intelligence that MPA is doing things like that and presenting petitions and papers to cabinet to consider that. But once cabinet has not considered it, the ordinary Ghanaian will not see it, any effort that you're making. So we will urge MPA to double that effort to really push that, because it's the most reasonable thing to do at this stage.
We have just 30 seconds. I just also wanted to ask you, I mean, we've seen the finance minister go to the annual spring meetings in the US. We're getting indication that we are going to have an IMF deal that we expect to have an impact on the city. So if in the coming days the city performs better than it is doing now, and well, I don't know about the prices of crude oil on the international market, How is that? How do you think that would affect the pricing in the third window?
The net effect of the strength of the cedi, the gains that we make in terms of the strength of the cedi, and the escalating price of crude oil. If crude oil should go up and the cedi is not able to strengthen, we are not able to strengthen the cedi to neutralize the effect of the increase in crude oil, price will still go up.
All right.
And unfortunately, we have no control over the price of crude oil. So apart from the cedi being strengthened, the cedi itself being strengthened alone cannot give us the 100% assurance that the price of crude oil is going to go down. It depends on what the international price of crude oil is also going to play out. That is why we are talking about this taxes removal. That is something that we can control.
Gabriel Kumi is Vice President of the LPG Marketers Association. I appreciate your time with us this afternoon. Well, let's move on.